Choreographer Ilia Malinin commented on American figure skater Ilia Malinen's decision not to take a break from his career. Earlier, the three-time world champion released a teaser for the new season featuring clips of his on-ice routines. The words Vision 2030 appear at the end of the video. I'm not at all surprised that Ilia Malinin decided to compete next season. It's just that the emotional statement of a young athlete shouldn't have been taken seriously. And our skaters shouldn't care whether he skates or not. I haven't changed my opinion of Ilia after the Olympics. He was and remains an outstanding athlete. Unfortunately, last season he peaked before the big competition, but that happens. He certainly remains the favorite for the upcoming season, but athletes' form sometimes fluctuates. If Malinin skates like he did last season, our men have no chance against him. Another issue is that the Olympic scenario could repeat itself. Ilia aside, I'm glad we have excellent competition in men's skating right now. We have Gumenik, Kondratuk, Dikidze, and Semenenko. They're all certainly competitive, said Averbuk. The most talented and daring figure skater of the new generation, Ilia Malinin, has literally blown up social media with a series of cryptic posts. What's really behind the label of a beautiful warm-up, and what fateful changes is the acknowledged god of quads preparing fans around the world for at the very start of the new Olympic cycle. Let's try to solve this main puzzle of the summer. On Sunday, July 26, 2026, the usual quiet of the off-season in international figure skating gave way to a veritable information storm. Three-time world champion and Milan 2026 Olympic team champion, Ilia Malinin sent millions of sports fans into a frenzy by posting 5 consecutive teasers on social media. The style of the encrypted messages was distinctly austere and ascetic. White font on a completely black background. Big announcement on Monday, July 27th. It's time for something new. The end of one thing can lead to the beginning of something new. I think it's time. Grateful for many years. A little later, the figure skater heightened the psychological impact by reposting a video on TikTok with the motivational caption, "Congratulations, you're moving to the next level. Your next opponent is yourself." The reaction from the sports community on both sides of the Atlantic was immediate. A wave of heated discussions erupted on American figure skating forums and social media. Fans in the United States put forward a wide range of hypotheses, from the 21-year-old genius's unexpected retirement from professional sports, to the announcement of his own clothing line, the launch of an esports brand, or the signing of a record-breaking sponsorship contract. In Russia, Malinin's overnight announcements were met with no less alarm and intense scrutiny. Domestic experts and fans immediately recalled the figure skater's revelations this spring about severe emotional burnout following the arduous 2026 Olympic Games. Debates erupted in Russian sports communities about whether the god of quads was planning a radical overhaul of his entire training system. On Monday, July 27th, as promised, the second part of the media presentation followed. Malinin posted a video, executed with an impeccable sense of style, high-quality editing, and profound drama, accompanied by heartfelt lyrical music. The audience was treated to an emotional retrospective of his entire athletic career. Footage of a touching childhood and his first tentative steps on the ice alternated with fragments of grand international triumphs, the execution of unique quadruple jumps, and then devastating falls and tears of disappointment. The footage centered on dramatic scenes from the 2026 Olympic Games in Milan. As a reminder, on the Italian ice, Ilia won a gold medal in the team competition as part of this team, but suffered a painful defeat in the individual competition, finishing only 8th due to a series of unfortunate errors in his free skate. The video also includes clips of his vibrant performances in popular ice shows, grueling training routines, and footage of his constant mentors, his parents, Tatyana Malinina and Roman Skornyakov. The video concludes with a speech from the athlete himself, summing up the past milestone. "A lot has happened to me over the past 4 years. I'm very grateful to everyone who was with me during this time. I'm glad I've achieved what I've achieved. But I think the time has come. It's time for something new. It's time for something different." The video concludes with a caption, "Looking to 2030, Part 1, Season 2026-2027. To use a cinematic analogy, in these 2 days, Malinin has earned the top prize in a sports drama, comparable to an Oscar. His short film features all the classic conventions of the genre: the meteoric rise of genius, historic records, the collapse of hopes on the Olympic ice, and a sincere search for self-worth. But this video certainly doesn't stoop to the Golden Raspberry Award. despite the ironic similarity between the figure skater's name and Hollywood's premier anti-award. The intensity and directorial skill are maintained by the highest Hollywood standards. The high level of audience engagement and the cinematic precision of the video are the result of the professional team behind the athlete. A well-thought-out media support system has been built behind Ilia Malinin's promotion and PR. Shade Global, led by renowned manager Cheryl Shade, handles the skater's marketing and commercial contracts. This agency has attracted giants like Coca-Cola, Samsung, Xfinity, and Honda to collaborate with Malinin, carefully metering the commercial load to maintain his athletic form. Felon Strategic Consulting, the agency behind the QUADGOD brand, is responsible for developing the visual style, social media management, and content strategy. Renowned manager Ari Zakarian has long been involved in organizing participation in ice shows. The presence of such a team explains why any public action by the athlete is transformed into a spectacular spectacle with maximum reach. So what is Ilia Malinin preparing the sports world for with these appeals? 3 key scenarios stand out. The first is skipping the 2026-2027 competitive season. The first hints of a break came from the athlete himself back in May, when he admitted to feeling extremely devastated after the Milan Olympics. In figure skating, resting during the first year of a new cycle is a common practice to recuperate. The second scenario is entering the competitive season with the announcement of new programs. This is hinted at by the end credits, season 2026-2027, and the phrase about the first part of looking to 2030. The third, most likely, version is a farewell to his parents' coaching staff. Phrases about the end of one is the beginning of another and gratitude for many years directly point to a separation from the nest. Malinin has been coached by his parents, Tatyana Malinina and Roman Skornyakov, since childhood. However, this new step in his development requires changes. It's possible that Ilia will fully transition to Rafael Arutunian, who previously consulted on his staff and led Nathan Chen to Olympic gold. The reason for these drastic changes is obvious. Experts are questioning Malinin's absolute prospects at the 2030 Olympics. Olympic diving champion and longtime figure skating commentator Elena Vaitsekovskaya noted that the skater's trump cards are no longer a guarantee of victory. She emphasized that relying solely on quadruple jumps without developing skating gait and presentation is becoming increasingly risky. Competitors are improving, and judges are strict in their evaluation of components. The failure in the individual competition in Milan demonstrated that difficulty alone is not enough. At the start of the new Olympic cycle, Malinin needs to make radical decisions and change his training approach. We will find out how many more encrypted messages Ilia Malinin will release in the coming days. My intuition tells me there will be more to come. In any case, the whole plot will be revealed this week.